Howdy, howdy, howdy. How's everyone today? I'm Troy Miller with the Winging It Waterfowl podcast. With me, as always, is my co host, Blake Horton.
How's it going, everyone?
So, what is new with you today, Blake?
Oh man, it's cold.
Cold. I had
Cold
a.
for it, dude. It is cold for some southeast Texas, Louisiana.
Oh, man.
Ah,
What's y'all's temperature today? Give me the
man,
weather rundown.
I woke up this morning. Of course, I had to come to work, so I had to be up at 3 a.m. to get to work. But it was 50 degrees.
Oof. That sounds so nice. I
50 degrees in Louisiana in September is crazy for us, and it is nice.
I think on my way to work this morning it was 68, and then on my way home from work it was 100 degrees and south wind blowing probably 25 mile an hour. It was just that hot, dry south wind. Oh, it was miserable today. I got home and I was like
Oh man.
just swimming in my pants.
Man, I think our high today got in like 83. It's in the 70, low 70s right now, so
See,
we're enjoying it. I know that weather's not gonna last long, so
yeah, our forecast the other day, I don't, Texas Panhandle weathermen, I mean, that's you got job security there. I mean, you could just throw darts at the wall and just say whatever you want. And everyone's gonna be like, well, it is Texas Panhandle. Because I mean,
yeah.
the forecast here for the last 2 weeks, or for 2 week forecast for the last week, has had nothing above like 92, and we've had three 100-degree days.
Oh man. Yeah, I mean, we know growing up there that if you don't like the weather, just wait a couple hours, it'll change.
Oh,
It could be
no
snowing
joke.
on you one morning, the next thing you know, you got tornadoes in the dang
There
sky.
was a
So
tornado last night that tried to touch down over between
that
Miami and Pampa. Apparently, I
that is
I didn't hear
crazy.
about that. We're in a severe thunderstorm warning right now.
Man, we'll take all that rain if y'all don't want it no more. We have not had rain in a couple of weeks. It is dry around here.
What's a crazy thing is they had all that and these storms supposedly that I didn't know anything about till this morning. The guys that live over at Pampa were telling me about it. And I was like, we didn't even get any rain over here. And like the other day for my dove opener, I had nothing here at the house. I drive, 35 miles. Oh, it's not even that far as a crow flies, 20 miles maybe. And it was just, I mean, mud and just soaking wet and still raining. So it's just crazy around here, but you know that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we didn't have no rain kind of central South Louisiana, but everywhere north of us on opening day had a pretty good storm come in. So I think that's kind of what messed our. We had a good amount of dove around
Yeah.
until opener, and you know how that goes. Someone goes out there and tells those birds that, hey, they're about to start shooting at you, and everybody leaves.
Well, they're kind of like deer. They read the paper.
Yes. Yes.
So, um, speaking of, how was your dove opening hunt the other day?
Man, it wasn't bad. I went out early morning. I seen quite a bit of dove. It was crazy though. I've never really been dove hunting where they don't flock to the mojos. And I had three mojos sitting out there. Nothing would come in. And I mean, I could have took some pop shots, but I decided not to. I'm trying to keep my numbers good this year. I really want to keep a outlook on all my numbers. So I didn't take. I shot at one bird while I was on my morning hunt, and it was too far. But I just wanted to shoot my gun once, and it wasn't bad. It was good for Wiley. I took Wiley out, put him on a stand. He had to sit there and kind of just be steady. That's what I've been working on him with. But the girls didn't go with me. They talked about going with me, but you know how that goes.
That morning?
They, yeah, they got to get up early, and baby decided she didn't want to sleep very much that night. So I went, and they stayed back. But we went later that night. We went, sat behind the house, sat underneath the tree. I shot two dove that night, and
Hey,
it was fun.
you had a 200% better hunt than I did for opening.
Man, it was crazy because I mean, we had a lot here and then we didn't, and the ones that I shot are they were small compared to the dove I'm used to up in Panhandle. I guess we just
Well,
don't have the same quality dove down here that y'all do up there.
you've probably got more actual mourning dove than Eurasians.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
I mean,
those Eurasians are
there's
huge.
yes, they are, and these were. I thought at first I just shot a juvenile, and then that second one I shot was the same size. I was like, that's just got to be a trend down here.
Well, like I said, they're probably actual mourning dove. Around here we get mourning dove, and I've actually seen more mourning dove this year than I ever have. I mean, usually it's mostly Eurasians, and I mean those things. There's nothing wrong with them. They eat just as good, and they're just as fun to hunt. But they are quite a bit bigger than those mourning dove are.
Yeah, yeah, that was what I was thinking too. I mean, the best thing is the girls went out with me on their my night hunt, so Ryan got to go on her first dove hunt, and we actually got to shoot some birds, so it wasn't a bust for the day. And while they got some feathers in mouth, and Ryan got to hold some doves. So I mean,
What did she
all in
think of
all, I
that?
can't. At first, she didn't want nothing to do with them, man. I kind of put them in her hand and squeezed her hand around their necks, and she just kind of like threw them down on the ground. And of course, Wiley, he's like, "Oh, she threw something for me to get." So he's trying to get them, and I'm trying to get. So we finally got that situated. I gave it to her a second time, and that's when we got that picture that we posted on Instagram. And
Yeah, that was a good picture. She looked like
she,
she's
she got,
enjoying it.
yeah, she got a little blood on her hands, so she got a little taste of it. We're baptizing by fire with her.
Yeah. Oh, well, that the only day you got to go out so far?
Uh, yeah, well, no, I mean it's kind of easy. We live out in the country, so I'm able. I got some posts set up on the back fence, and I just put those spinners out, and we'll sit on the back porch at night and just put Ryan in her swing, kind of just sit up there, and it's our little family time. And I throw the spinners up and got the shotgun sitting on the back porch with me, and that's about it.
Yeah, man, I miss living out in the country. Lived out in the country most of my life growing up, and then moved to the city, unfortunately. But
Yeah,
yeah, I was gonna try to go to the ranch this weekend, but again, not working out. We got homecoming this week, and my oldest daughter, she's got to go to homecoming football game, meeting friends, and all this other stuff. So,
yeah,
which I mean, I don't mind going, but my kids are sixth grade is the oldest, and so I mean, I don't have any actual kids or nephews or nieces or anything like that are high school or junior high age yet. So, not as invested in it yet. So,
yeah.
but
Not yet.
we usually go to the homecoming football game here, and it's pretty good. And not being from here, I mean, I'm meeting a lot more people. Only problem is the only people I know around here are my in-laws and everyone from the church.
But
So,
a church family is a good family to have,
oh
though.
yeah, I'm not
That's a
complaining about that at all. So, that's what we're fixing to start up our small group at church, and they actually changed the schedule. So now that I'm a youth volunteer, I do fifth, sixth, well, no, sixth, seventh, and eighth grade boys. On Wednesday nights, I'm a youth group leader, and so me and my brother-in-law do them, and then a couple of other couples around our age that have kids and stuff around our age. They're helping out as youth group leaders this year on Wednesday nights, and so they changed all the small groups from Wednesday nights to Sundays. So we're actually going to get to go to those this year, hopefully.
oh, that's
So
nice.
yeah, we started in on one or two small groups, but they were doing them on like Tuesday nights and Wednesday nights. Well, Stephanie's gone on Wednesdays, and then Tuesday nights is always softball and soccer practice and stuff like that. And so we were missing out on all of them, but they're changing a bunch of them to Sunday nights. So I'm super excited about that.
Yeah, that'd be
So
nice.
yeah, that's about the only time I get out is I go to work, I go hunt, or I go to church. I'm pretty man. If you'd told me this is what I'd be doing in my life several years ago, I'd have told you you're crazy.
Yeah, That's what Caitlin told me the other day. She's like, "Did you picture your life like this a couple years ago?" I said, "No, I figured it's hunting season. I'd be out on the river in my boat trying to figure out where we're going to hunt."
Yeah, we were pretty wild back in our heyday, but I wouldn't trade this for the world though.
Oh, no. I love what I got for sure.
Yes, sir, and it just gets better.
Yeah. Before we know it, we're going to be out there and we'll have our little ones with us duck hunting, and that's going to be the best.
Man, I'm ready. I'm ready to get when 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 my boy's old enough that like the problem is that Stephanie wants to go and I want to take Stephanie. She doesn't like the cold at all, but like I think like teal season, early season stuff like that, she would enjoy it and she would love it. But the problem is like with having 4 kids, it's hard to find someone that's willing to come to the house and watch them at 3 a.m. in the morning.
Yes, yeah.
And
That's how Caitlin is. She wants that. She said, "I'll go with you when it's warm. When it's cold, I only got 1 or 2 cold hunts in me a year."
yeah, but once true, it's a little bit older and the girls are old enough that, they can kind of be left home alone for us to go out and she'll go. And the girls want to go, but man, I'm just so leery of taking them out on water and stuff like that quite yet.
Y- Yeah,
I,
especially with kayaks. I mean, that's a little scary.
yeah, I mean, I'm confident in my own skills, and even I get a little nervous about some things out there, much less trying to keep up with them and everything. So I'll probably when I may try to this year if I can get Penny some shotgun time like I want to.
Yeah,
May try to hit some evening hunts and stuff like that from the shore or one of the playa or something like that.
yeah, yeah. I
So
mean, it's always scary. We were always told growing up to stay off that lake. That lake will kill you,
oh, I know, and it
which
does. It can,
it can.
but and I don't want her to. I don't. Yeah, I mean, I want them to experience the full experience of hunting and, like not everything. And she did really good. I mean, this last season was her first year deer hunting and she did so great. Like she took 3 shots, 2 of which probably would have hit if I had been a little bit paying little bit better attention to the setup I had her in. The first shot she took, I did not see, like we were sitting in one of our hay lots and she shot across a fence and it's all our property. It was just one of our cross fences, but she shot across the fence and she hit a top wire and I did not think about it where that buck was standing. And so, I mean, where he was standing, she was dead on, right at about 85 yards, 90 yards. Second shot, some doe snuck in on us and they were at 15 yards. And I didn't tell
Oh
her, I
man,
didn't tell her, like, hey, aim low. And so she shot right over
yeah,
their back. Third one, she just flat out missed.
yeah,
But I mean, she was a good ways out there, 160, 180 yards somewhere in there. She is a good ways out. But I mean, she's still like she obviously got a little discouraged and everything. But I mean, that's one thing that she took super well was like she's like, no, I'm gonna keep doing it. I'm gonna keep doing it. And she didn't have any problems with her fidgeting. Didn't have any problems with like I'm cold. I want to go because we went out one morning, me, her, and my dad, and it was I mean like 8 degrees out and frost, like that heavy frost mist that was just building on you. And
yeah.
I mean, she's like, I am cold, and I was like, well, I kind of undid my jacket and let her sit on my lap and everything, and kind of cuddle up in there. But she did. She was a trooper, man. So,
That's awesome.
but I mean, I want her to have the experience of hunting, but I also don't want her to be miserable and be like, I'm never, and scare her away from it. And I think that's super important with kids.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, you gotta make it enjoyable for them. I mean, but you gotta start them, get them hooked too. So,
Oh yeah, I mean, once she gets her first year down, I think she's gonna be hooked.
oh yeah,
So
yeah. Well, I was gonna wait till the end, but I mean,
hey, this
since
is
we're
as good a
talking about,
segue as any. Actually,
I'm about to say, while we're talking about kids,
we're
the
winging it here.
gear, winging it, the gear of the day. Me and Troy have talked about waders on the podcast before, and kind of talked off air about what we were looking at kid waders, and I think the best thing to do about that is the shin gear. Um, if you get on their website, you can get on there and look too. I mean, they got the best collection, I would say. And I'll actually share it right here on our screen with us so we can look at it both together.
Yeah, you had mentioned this to me back, I think, end of season,
Yes.
and I looked into it, but like I said, not Penny is growing like a weed, so I don't want to get one quite yet until I know
Yeah.
she's going to get into it.
So to start it off, you pay $850 for a set of waders from them, which, as everyone knows, Shin Gear is on the high side, but they are a very well known gear company. They have great gear. Um, I'm actually wanting to look at some of their wax jackets to see about getting one this year. But I mean, you get on here and look, it's they could start out at your boot size is 6 to 7 or size 4, and your body size is 6 to 7, and it goes all the way up to
Basically,
age
adult size.
14. Yeah, and it's only $125 to exchange them. So I mean, instead of having to go pay a lot of money for another set of waders, you're only having to pay $125 to exchange these, as long as you keep them in good shape.
Yeah.
So I mean, I know that could be hard with kids and stepping on twigs and stuff like that, but I don't think it'd be that. I mean, that hard really. I mean, then you got them till they turn age 14, and then once they turn 14, you could trade them in. Um, so like you buy them set of waders when they turn 14. And if I'm reading this right, which I was gonna call them today, but I got put on hold. Couldn't get a hold of nobody for a little bit.
It says they graduate the program once they turn 15, so
Yes, once they turn 15, but you can buy. So you buy a set at 14, right before they turn 15. You can buy them. You can exchange them one time for a brand new set of waders before they turn 15.
oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd looked a little bit into this last year whenever you had told me about it. And I mean, the price point is steep, but for I think in the long run, it would save you money and you're getting some really awesome
yes,
waiters.
yeah, and I mean, I
Because I,
think it's. I mean, they got jackets on here too, and one of the big things I love to see that they had the wading pants for the kids. I have a set of wading pants. Mine are not Shin, they're Sitka, but I got them when I first started, and those are probably the best things I've owned for layers. Is a set of wading pants. I will always have a set with me.
yeah, uh, I want to get me a set so badly because
Yeah,
there's days up here and I I don't mind layering, but with waiters, your bottom layers are real hard to shed off when it gets hot.
they are. They are. But I think, I mean, gear wise, going with that is if you got a young kid and you're going to start them early, I think that's one of your best places to go. I mean, that's what I will probably do for Ryan. I love
Yeah,
my gator waders, but I know we'll have to once she keeps starting to grow out of them. And there's not very many companies out there that have much for kid waders
yeah,
that have that
especially and
that have that kind of trade in program.
yeah, they're the only ones
So
I know of that have a trade-in program.
yes, yeah,
And I know you've researched that a lot more extensively than I have, but
yeah.
that is why you're my gear guy, or as Addison calls you, the doodad.
Yeah, I find a bunch of things and I just go in and start trying to make them or figure it out. So
Yeah, well, yeah. So that's a good one to look into. And once I kind of get Penny and stuff into it, um, I'll probably try to do something like that.
yeah, and I just think I might just call them at a different time because everyone I've heard on podcasts is when they try to get into customer service, it's real easy to get in touch with them. And I think I called right in the middle of lunch. I can't remember, and I didn't stay on hold very long because I had stuff I had to get done. But I just trying to get a couple clarifications before we got on tonight, but I think it'll be, if anyone's looking for them, that's what I would do. I mean, that's what I'm going to do for Ryan when she gets old enough to wear a pair of waders.
Definitely. So, well, what else with your season so far? How's the scouting going? Any scouting yet?
Man, I was actually I went dove hunting around the pond. I duck hunt on the Red River, and I seen 3 groups of teal. There's about 20 to 30 teal in every one. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I I mean, I tried real hard to get some pictures and video today of teal. And so one thing that I'm noticing that I'm not sure because, like we said, we're very much progressing in our knowledge and our skill and everything else. And so part of me is I'm seeing a lot more teal this year, and part of me wonders, am I seeing more teal or am I just getting better at scouting and IDing and noticing and knowing where birds are going to be and getting better at that? Am I just finding more birds? Not, or are there actually more birds this year? You know, but I am seeing
yeah,
some good groups and I'm hearing them. So I've got all these plies around there, and I wish I need to find a little small set of binoculars that I can put in my tool bag for when I go up tower, because when I go up tower, a lot of these plies, I can just barely make out dots, and we have so many coots around right now. It's hard for me to tell what's coots and what's teal, but I know there's teal there because I can hear them. Yeah, I can hear the
yeah.
blue wings, and but today on my way home from work, there's this little roadside playa, and I've asked about hunting that place, and everyone's told me that they don't really let anyone hunt it. They got some kids or grandkids or something like that that'll come just shoot it, go past shoot kind of thing, jump shoot them, I think, from what I was told every now and then. But this little place, man, it's kind of like my little area where I kind of keep an eye on every day that I know I'm going to go by and I see kind of get a feel, because if they're there, then I know they're somewhere else too, at the other holes too. But I saw 80 to 100 today, and if there's on this road, there's never any traffic, but of course I see that and I go to slow down. There's a truck right behind me, and there's the bar ditches are all full of water right now. It's like I can't even pull off. So I didn't get to stop and get a picture or video, but man, it was pretty awesome to see because they were just all out there in that. I mean, 2 maybe 3 inches of water, eating. Just all of
Wow,
them were eating. So nice little feeder place.
that's awesome. Yeah.
I even saw some spoonies yesterday too.
Wow, that's a little early for them, but
Yeah,
well, I guess not. I mean, I've seen spoonies while we teal hunt, so
yeah, I was seeing them this time last year. And what's crazy is I was seeing Scott here this time last year too. So, or no, not last year. Sorry, I take that back. Year before last, when I was going through my pictures that when you came up when I was scouting,
yeah,
mid September, I had pictures of some Scott, and that's the only time I've seen them around here is preseason scouting. So,
yeah. Man, I know I've seen some videos from up there of some people I know, but also seen some videos from Louisiana, and let me tell you, the teal are here. These guys are seeing them by the hundreds. The videos are by the hundreds.
yeah,
I wish I could get on a good Ross field to teal hunt, but
if I,
it's hard to it's hard to get on them.
if I ever get some land up here, I'm going to be the only rice farmer for 1,000 miles. But yeah, like I said, I mean, I know part of it is that I've gotten better at scouting and I know what I'm doing a lot more, but I really do think that I'm seeing a lot more this year, which is crazy because according to the duck numbers, we shouldn't. I mean,
Yeah,
they
the
hit it.
teal are down.
Yeah, I mean, the teal numbers are bad enough that they hit the trigger number to take it from to shorten our season, you know?
Yeah,
So
I don't know. Did you look up to see when they actually started that early teal? I know they used to not have it.
You know, I didn't. I didn't. I
I
should
know
have.
I've heard a lot of guys talk about that they haven't always had that early teal season. So I wonder at what point are they gonna just if the teal numbers keep going down, they're just gonna be like, hey, we're gonna get rid of your early teal season for a little bit.
I have heard tell of some states, their game commissions have spoken about it, but still federal, so
Yeah.
uh, you know, never know. But
I know the guided people. I know some people down in Weenie, which is right off the coast, kind of by the Texas Louisiana line. And it's a buddy of ours that guides down there, and he owns his own guide business. And he said them cutting off this early teal kind of hurt us.
I bet,
Didn't really hurt them. Didn't hurt them, but they they always look forward to having that 2 weeks of making a little money before season gets there. And
yeah. My question is, we didn't know completely. Last year we didn't know that we were going to get cut down on season yet, and so I know a lot of these guides, they kind of book with tentative dates, and I'm wondering if that hurt them. And then I feel bad for the guides here in Texas that lost the snow goose conservation season.
yeah, yeah.
I'm
I
sure
mean,
that's. I mean, I'm not saying it's easy money because I know that's a lot of work. I mean, I can't even imagine putting out that many decoys and everything else and orchestrating that big of a hunt is what you see a lot of these guys doing, that many guns, that many shells, orchestrating that and safely orchestrating it, and then putting out your spreads and taking down your spreads and everything else that goes with that snow goose conservation hunting that people do.
yeah, it's not like a normal
Oh no.
duck hunt or a goose hunt. I mean, throw a couple of decoys, maybe a dozen here, a dozen there. Those guys are putting out 100 decoys easily.
Easily. Oh, some of them are hundreds.
Yeah.
A lot of them that you see are hundreds. But I mean, heck, you can just go to Arkansas, shoot them from the back of a four wheeler. Apparently,
Yeah.
we did not do that.
We did not do that,
I have
but
never shot
we
a
know
snow
somebody.
goose. Allegedly, we know someone,
We've heard tales.
but yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure that's probably hurting a lot of people. So hopefully they can,
Y-
bounce back and make up their differences, make up their cost differences, with some really good hunts and filling some filling some seats and some blinds and everything.
Yeah, I think that's gonna make most of these guys that book their teal season, which I don't know 100%, but I bet you it's gonna make it where they hunt day, morning, and evening hunts.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just like some of those people that book, they might just be on there and just be like, hey, well, they got rid of these dates, but do you want to hunt evening hunt? You
Yeah.
want to hunt this or
Well, you take away a teal season and man, most people aren't going to get to shoot a blue wing anymore.
yeah, unless you're
Down
farther
south.
south
Yeah.
by us, yeah.
Even up here, I've never shot a blue wing because I've never been able to make early teal season. This will be my first year making early teal because I've one, you know, I didn't go out on my own for the first 2 years, 3 years, whatever it was. And then once I did start going out on my own, I was on call or working, on call and working. And then last year, my son was pretty new and my wife was working weekends waiting on me to take paternity leave. So I was working Monday through Friday. She was working Friday through Sunday or Friday through Monday.
Y-
And so
Yeah,
just during that whole until October, we had no time off. So I didn't get to make last year either. So this will be my first actual early teal season that I get to make. So
yeah, it's fun,
I'm
man.
hoping to get a blue wing.
It's gonna be fun. It's really different. I mean,
I
you
mean,
just throw a bunch of decoys out there and they'll spinners. I mean, even putting those dove mojos out there, they don't matter. They love that stuff.
yeah, I'm looking forward to it because I haven't gotten a blue wing because I've never made the early teal and up here. I mean, they're gone. So, and I love green
Yeah.
wing teal. So
Did you shoot a green wing down here? Is that what you shot? Or is it a blue?
that first one, that one I
Yeah.
got mounted,
Yeah, it's a green wing,
yeah,
ain't
it's a
it?
green wing because I've never shot a blue
Okay.
wing.
That's what I was trying to remember.
Yeah, I've got that green wing, that fully plumed out green wing teal Drake. That's that one that you and me got that day out on the river.
Yeah.
That was yeah, because that was when we came back from Arkansas, our bust hunt
Yeah.
in
We shot.
Arkansas, and we had a better hunt that morning there local
Yeah.
than we did at 5 days in Arkansas.
You win some, you lose some, man.
Man, here before too long, we're bound to win something.
I'm hoping that's what we do in Nebraska. I
Me
hope we're
too.
will win over in Nebraska.
You know, I'd be happy with a draw.
Yeah.
I mean, our speaking of draw, our draw hunt last year was awesome.
Yeah, we limited out both days.
Yeah,
Three man limit. So
and we were getting real picky. So,
yes. That first day you got to, there's so many pintail. I mean,
oh, I know.
Lord, there's so many pintail. You had to be careful what you shot.
Yeah,
That's
because I
kind
mean,
of,
you get so overwhelmed by down there because there's so many birds that I mean, you got to pick out. You got to look at each and every bird individually and be like, I'm going to take that one and I ID it, you know, or else you're going to end up
yeah,
shooting over on pintails super easy if you're not. Because I mean, there's just when you're looking at a couple hundred birds every flyover, it's really easy to just pull up and shoot amongst them.
yeah.
And it's
This year would be a nice year to be hunting there. With a
yeah.
3 bag limit of
Oh,
pintail.
I know it's going to
You
change so
don't have
much.
to, you don't have to be so picky.
Yeah, that that's that Drake I got last year. It's still, I mean, and something awesome is going to have to happen to beat that shot.
Oh man, that
I,
scared the dog snot out of me. I was not even paying attention. I was looking at a different duck when that one came
so
in.
we were, you and Addison had just, I mean, y'all were reloading or something. Y'all were both on the outside. I was in the middle. Y'all had both shot, and I'm sitting there like back and forth, like I could not. There was just so much going on. I was like, I can't pick. And then I'd been saying, I was like, I am getting me a really pretty Drake, and here he comes. Lo and behold, after the smoke clears of y'all shooting, and y'all are in the middle reloading and directing dogs, I just pull up and I said, Drake pin. Pulled up and he was flying. I mean, just right down the barrel at my face. I shot and he sat there and sailed. I mean, stoned him dead, and he sailed right in and landed in my jet sled, 15 yards
No,
behind me.
that wasn't like 5 yards right beside me to my left, and he hit that thing, and I thought somebody just shot us because it was loud.
Well, yeah, I guess when you shoot like I do, you don't even need a dog.
No, that's why you had to go get one.
To be fair, I already had her. She was just in training. So, well, speaking of tons of ducks, we've got some numbers. I know we're probably a little late to the game, and if we are your number one source for the migration information on duck numbers, then I apologize.
Sorry, we're a little late. We had some sick kids at home that we had to deal with, which
Yes,
isn't
it ended up not being
that.
bad.
No, I mean, and they just came out with this. What, last week?
Yeah,
Not
it
even that
was
long.
last. I want to say
The
last week
second.
sometime. I want to
It
say it
was
was like
second.
Tuesday.
So yeah, it says September 2nd right here.
Okay, so
So
yeah,
it's
that was
not.
Tuesday.
I mean, we're not. What, 7 days?
Yeah.
We're not that bad.
Now, so you've got the numbers pulled up.
Yeah,
I'm going to
put
give
them
you
up
a
real
second to
quick
pull up,
for
and I'll
us.
be right back
All right.
once I figure out how to unmute myself.
Can
Okay, buddy.
you see these numbers?
Yeah, I can see them.
Okay. Man, it surprises me. I listened to the podcast on the way to work this morning 'cause I got plenty of time to listen to this stuff. The Some of the stuff they talked about just it surprises me that these numbers are what they are.
And yeah, and I listened to it the other day, whenever they did it, and I mean, they do say on there, this is best estimates. Nothing is 100%,
Yeah,
and this is the breeding population that makes it back. So
yeah.
this is the breeders.
These aren't the young ducks that don't fly all the way back yet.
Yeah, these aren't your juvies and stuff like that that are still hanging out. This is your mature breeders. So
These ain't your ducks that are at the park in the middle of July eating bread from all those children running around.
you want some bread, little birdie? Man, can you
But
imagine what kind of damage you could do with a pellet gun at a city park?
oh man, I
Back,
look like those guys up north who got all those bands around my call lanyard.
yeah. What's your success secret? I'm a heathen.
I was glad to see that the mallards didn't drop that bad.
You know, I was too. And if you scroll down there just a tiny bit,
Yeah,
one thing I really want to point out, uh,
just
or
tell me
just
when to quit. I can't
yeah,
see.
yeah, no, you're good. Scroll, scroll, scroll a little bit more, right there. So, looking at these numbers, if you look at those May pond counts, just below the total duck numbers, that is a huge difference.
Yeah, I mean, your total ducks, there's not that much, but with your
No, but
pond counts in
is
May,
what with your differences, looking at how dry they've been and how bad it is, like it was already dry and then it just got even drier. Your pond counts being down so low, like it's crazy how well everything held its numbers, in my opinion.
yes, I totally agree with that. I mean, we all know that they need the water and the protection to have these ducklings, and I mean, not just not having water. Canada was on fire for
Oh
a
yeah, I'd forgotten
while. I
about that
mean,
to be honest.
they had several fires up there, so that don't help them at all.
Yeah. So why don't you
So
run through these numbers,
okay,
and
get
then
my
once we go through that, I've got a cool little deal for harvest numbers that they released as well from the last two seasons. I got the U.S. Fish and
okay.
Wildlife Service. I got their actual harvest estimates. So we'll go over that as well and kind of compare these to
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So your mallards are sands down by 1% from last year. So with their count, they're only 0.055 percent down from last year's, which it's not horrible compared to what they were expecting from what I heard them talk about. But also it's not good. I mean, if you still look, they're still down 7. The LTA's -17. So
Yeah, and that's your long term average, which is
yeah,
that's a 10-year running number.
yeah, and I mean, really and truly, if we ever want the mallards to get back to where they are, I think as a hunting society that we might have to change our how we. And this is just me. This ain't saying this is how Troy is either, but I think we need to change our limits on those. I mean, if they're raising the pintail limit up to 3, why don't we back the mallards down to less mallards and more pintail? But I mean, I know a lot of people just hunt because of the mallards, and that's all they want to shoot. But there's nothing wrong against that. But also, if we want be shooting greenheads when we're in our 70s. We got to figure something out about it.
Well, you know, there if they had the solution to this, then we wouldn't be there'd be no hashing this out. And they everyone says that harvest numbers do not affect this, and in a sense, I think they do. I mean, that's why we have adaptive harvest numbers and bag limits and stuff like that for a lot of places.
Yeah,
But I mean, I think the biggest deal is honestly going to be your your breeding and habitat up north. Your prairie potholes, your boreal forest, all that stuff.
yeah.
And
No,
so
I agree. I mean,
it's
it's
not
a
it's not a single solution problem.
no, it's not. I mean, there's a lot of things that need to happen to get to go back where we want, but I think if we kind of help
Yeah,
out a little bit, that'll be. But I mean, I'm just like anyone else. I shoot a greenhead all day long if it comes in my spread. I'm not gonna pass one up
yeah,
to shoot a gadwall or anything like that. But I mean, I don't know. It's just something we'll have to look at and see. Hopefully next year they get some rain and fires slow down and they can have a good breeding season.
it would be nice.
Gadwalls are up by 6%. Well, their LTA's up by 17%, which is nice. And I don't disagree with this one. I've seen a lot of gadwall last year.
I still have yet to get my eyes on one or harvest one.
Yes, yeah, and I mean where we hunt, we see a lot of them, and it's just um, it's it's something. I guess that's kind of a Louisiana thing. They see a lot of them.
Yeah, I was gonna say from what I've heard, I think that's that being over there in that Mississippi Flyway, I think is a lot of it.
Yeah, I mean,
Because anyone you listen to in the Central, you don't. I mean, you hear about Gadwall, but you don't just hear about them just piling them up like you do over on the Mississippi Flyway.
yeah, and it's different. I mean, I hear a lot of people say gadwall, and they're called gray ducks in the Mississippi Flyway.
Yeah,
Everybody says,
that's what
"Oh,
I've always
gray
hear everyone
ducks."
call them as gray ducks.
Yeah, so and we shoot a lot of gray ducks. I mean, they still eat just the same as anything else. I mean, I think the best tasting duck is will be your wood duck, but that might be just be partial because we shoot a lot of wood ducks too. So,
Yeah, that's what I mean.
but
Teal tastes great too, but
yeah,
I don't mind eating a
they do.
teal.
Oh, they all taste great to me, except a coot. I'm not eating a coot. I know I'm from Louisiana and they eat a lot of coot down there, but I don't think I can eat a coot.
You'll get there.
Widgeon up 9%.
I do love me some
Um,
widgeon.
I think that's a pretty good statement too. I mean the LTA for that's 22% positive. I know you see a lot of widgeon up there, and Addison talks about how he sees a lot on the coast. He said he has seen more widgeon on the coast than he has in a long time. So I think that's that's gonna be a nice duck to have a lot of too. I mean, I shot one when I was up there with you last year or the year before, 2 years ago.
Yeah, that was a
I
real
shot that
pretty.
storm.
You got that.
Yeah, that storm
I say
widgeon.
you got that real nice storm drake.
Hmm. Green wing teal are down 15%, but they also got the LTA at 16%
Hmm.
positive in it. So I think
They had a
their
bad year.
LTA is. I think so. Yeah, I didn't see as many green wings this year as I did blue. We still shoot a lot of teal, and that's just because they're down here a lot. I mean, we see a lot of teal come March as well. I mean, we were on the Quandale hunt. We were seeing hundreds of them. So, your shoveler is up 4%,
As
and your
That's your mallards from Wish.
Yeah,
I guess we got to say Timu now. Your mallards from
Tim,
Timu,
your Timu
Mr. Hollywood.
mallards. That is Addison's go-to duck right there.
Hey, you know
Man,
what?
he loves some shovelers.
Last year I picked out that Drake and I was so excited, and then got up there and he was not nearly as plumed out as I wanted to be because I was real excited about that. I was like, I'm finally gonna get me a plumed out shoveler, and no, he wasn't. He's about 85%.
And everyone makes fun of them, but man, they are a beautiful duck.
Hey, they make great dog treats.
Yes. Keep on going along. Blue wing teal are down 4%, which is the LTA is -13, which maybe hopefully with this teal season getting knocked down 7 days,
Yeah, and
that
so
that changes.
your teal number, I think from the way I understand it, is the blue wing are what hit the trigger number to shorten the season.
Yes, and that's because they failed out a lot.
Yeah. So that their LTA and their percent change this year, Green Wings on one hand are up long term, but they did have a bad year last year. But from what I
Yeah,
understand, like overall, Blue Wings are on a downhill slide, and they're the ones that hit the trigger number for that
yeah.
shortened season.
Um, so right here, your pintail are up 13%, but your long term are down 41%. So that's where I kind of was wondering why they
Well, it's
upped the limit.
experimental, you know.
Yeah, and I mean it's for this year, and if I heard right, it's next year too. It's a 2 year.
2 year. From the way I understood it, it is a 2 year deal. That being said, when they do breeding report next year, their counts, that is subject to change. If it drops significantly enough, they will send it back to one.
Yeah, and I've always said that it's crazy that we can only shoot one pintail because we see so many of them
Yeah.
down here. I mean, and even on that WMA mean you got drawn for it. It was just crazy how much we seen.
Oh yeah. I mean, we didn't see a single mallard. We heard one or two, but we
Yeah,
never saw a single mallard that whole weekend scouting on
yeah,
Friday or the Saturday Sunday hunt. And then, I mean, but it was 85% of it was green wing teal and pintails.
yeah. Well, I'm kind of taking forever, but I'll hurry up. Redheads are up. Um, they look great all the way across.
Yeah.
Canvasbacks, they're up. They look great all the way across too. I will not pass up on a canvasback. If there's a mallard and a canvasback sitting right there, I'm gonna take a canvasback all day long. Those are some big ducks, and they are pretty.
Oh, those are the kings.
Y'all long live them. I've shot one, and I wish I would have mounted. I kick myself every time for not doing that.
Yeah. I still haven't got me one.
Your scalps are down 10%, and your LTA's down 25%. So I've never really shot one, so I'm not sure about that. I mean,
That was the
you see
first
them
duck
up
I got.
there. Yeah, you see them up there more than we see them. So
You did too. You shot a scop here.
that's right, I did.
Yeah.
Yep,
You got that scop Drake because it took
yep,
us
I
a
forgot
second to
about
figure
that.
out. You're like, took you a second. You're like, is it really?
Yeah,
So,
but I mean, total numbers of ducks this year 33.980. Last year was 33.988. So I mean, I
we're,
wouldn't count it as a loss. I think we're looking pretty good in duck numbers compared to last year. We're at least at the same.
so given those numbers I mean, looking at your year to year, it's a 0%. I mean,
Yeah,
statistically, there's no change. You've got 1/1000th or 8/1000ths difference. And then your long-term average overall is 4%. So, I mean, not bad, especially when you compare it to losing 20% of your ponds and your breeding grounds over that same period of time, losing 20% of that, 19% last year, and a statistical 0% change in population size. Now, that's a wash. Obviously, some are hurting, some are doing better, but I mean, overall, it makes a wash.
Yeah.
So, I think,
And
I
I
think it's,
also,
I think it's a win.
yeah, I do too. I mean,
Can't
and
wait.
they did a count early this year. They said that on the podcast that they went earlier this year than they did last year. So, I mean, who's to say that they didn't have later storms and had more rain? And I mean, as me and fire might be look like a bad thing to most, but fire's a good thing for the everything around them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the numbers can be better, obviously.
Oh yeah,
Are we
I
ever
mean
going to get to
everybody
where
wants to see.
are we going to get to where we ever were? Unless something drastically changes in that breeding grounds area? No, but it can get better than what it
Yeah,
is. And I think that's the direction we need to head. You know, if you're not a member of DU or Delta or something along those lines, or someone even a local state up there or something like that, you know, if you can't volunteer, volunteering where we're at, or at least where I'm at, it ain't gonna do nothing. But monetary donations and making sure to keep your membership up every year and everything like that goes it does a lot more than we think it does.
yeah, it does.
So, so now that you've gone over that, we'll jump back into that because I want to ask you some stuff here later. So
Okay.
I pulled up all this info came from the United States Fish and Wildlife Service migratory bird hunting activity and harvest during the 23-24 and 24-25 hunting seasons. This is the publication they report, and they released it on August of 25. So this one's the one that just came out. And so what this is it's the sample. This is an estimate of what they think everything was taken. So this goes off hip waterfowl hunters invited to participate in the sample for 23 to 24 season was 336,742 hunters. Out of them, 21% responded, and that's where they're getting their numbers. For the 24 to 25 season, they invited 351,772 hunters with a 20% response rate. So now, as I go through these numbers, you'll see this is not the end all be all of numbers, but this is what their closest estimates from that sample from general hip, and then those samples are their like more in depth.
Yeah,
That's that in depth. How many days did you hunt? Where did you hunt? What did you get? And they break this down. This is a 77-page report that you can go through, and it'll
so
show.
you said that there was only 20% out of 3,000 people that did this.
No, not 3,000, 300,000.
Wow.
So yeah, hip waterfowl hunters invited in 23 to 24 that were invited to. This is the sample, the detailed one
Yeah,
that were invited were 336,742 in 23 to 24 season. 21%, 2-1 responded. So this is where we're getting our data from. 24-25, 351,772 people with a 20% response rate. I'm just saying
that's where
that's
as
pitiful.
duck hunters we need to do better.
Yeah, I was appalled by that because I've
guys,
never
they
been
don't.
pulled for a sample, but since I was 14 years old when I started doing bird hunting, I don't know, it was probably earlier than that. I was probably 11 when I started bird hunting, 11, 12. But I've had the hip, and we have always made sure. I mean, they're not asking, did you shoot over your limit on this day? When you do your hip, it's, be honest, put in there. And that hip is not going to give much information other than a general idea of a lot of birds or a little bit of birds. But these
Yeah,
sample ones is where we get all of our data from. And this is I mean, they're pulling data of the age, the sex, juveniles, where you got them. They break this down to every flyway, every state, what the juveniles are, the mature ones. They even get to your average ages on here. Like, this report is worth looking up, and it's on U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. It was a cool report to look for. I mean, I did not get to read it in depth, and a lot of it goes over my head because I'm not a biologist. But I mean, it's still cool, and this is free. And
And it probably only takes 10 minutes to do.
I mean,
I think as
as a responsible
hunters, we
hunter,
should. Yes.
I mean, this is the stuff here that's determining our future as hunters on a lot of it. Sure, they can say, okay, well, yeah, there's this many birds that are breeding, but if they don't know how many we're killing, they're going to err on the side of caution. I don't know that for sure. That's just getting me riled up about it.
But that could make it where they take the season down where you only get 3 birds, or
They've done it.
I
30
mean,
days and 3 birds.
they have, and they've done the point system. There was a point system a long time ago where each bird was this many points in.
Yeah.
I mean, they can go back to the point system. They can do whatever they want, really.
Yeah. That was appalling to me that 20% out of 300 plus thousand people, only 20%. Like, come on, even if you don't give the most detailed information, give them something.
Yeah.
And this was just the response rate,
Yeah.
So let's break it down. So I did not, for the sake of time, my sanity, and my phone's calculator app, I did not break this down to the state and flyways. I was going to break it down to flyways, but they get so detailed in this report. It's way more detailed than that breeder report.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. So I will go through. I'm going to give you the 23-24 number, then the 24-25. These are the harvest numbers, sample estimates. These are their best guess estimates of harvest numbers. And as you'll see, some of these are definitely going to be not correct, but that's the information they can only do what they can do with the information we provide them.
We only gave them 20% of what you ask.
Yeah. So, and I will say right now, sea dunk hunters, you guys suck.
But we do want to go see duck hunt with y'all.
I'm just saying, y'all did not give good information. You'll see why. So mallards for and the way I'm going to do this is for the 23-24 season, and then the 24-25 season, and then I'll give you the difference.
Okay.
So mallards for 23-24, 671,169,000 harvested. 24-25, 726,301. Difference is from year to year is from 24 to 25 was positive 55,123 more birds taken in a year's time difference. Domestic mallards,
they say the birds are down. They've been shooting more.
Some of these, as we get into this, that's all to say. I want to get your opinion on some of this and your thoughts. But domestic mallards shows, and I think a lot of this is that duck DNA stuff. So on a lot of this, I think is that duck DNA stuff for where they're getting this number at. Because 23-24 shows 0, 24-25 shows 185. So your difference is obviously positive, 185 more birds. Black duck for the 23 year, 747. For 24, 0 reported. And then your mallard and black duck, and like I said, I think some of this is going back to this DNA stuff that's all still so new. So these numbers are being thrown in there, but they just don't have the data on it, I think. So 0 and 0. Your mottled duck, 5,769,000. 24-25, 8,732. So year to year difference, plus 2,963 more. Gadwalls. So this one's the fun one that I thought you would enjoy. So from your numbers to mine, for 23-24, 551,144 for 23-24, 24-25, 395,559. So their numbers are up. But from 23-24 to 24-25, in 23-24, they harvested 155,585 more in 23-24 than they did in 24-25, even with the gray duck numbers being that far up. So, yeah, your difference is negative 155,585. Here's another one. Widgeon, 23-24, 239,339. 24-25, 204,879. Difference, negative 34,460.
So they shot more last year, 23-24, than they did.
Yeah. So if the number's negative, it means that they shot more in the 23-24 is how I have this broke down when I did my math. Green wings, 851,017. 24-25, 568,930 with a negative 282,087 difference. So that one reflects.
Yeah.
And then they threw blue wings and cinnamons in together. 23-24, 624,270. 24-25, 517,539 with a negative difference of 106,731. The old Timu birds, the spoonies, 230,383. 24-25, 127,668. Negative 102,715. You know what I blame that on? Social media bullying. People started feeling bad for shooting the spoonies. Pintails. This one will be interesting to look back on next year. 164,189 harvested in 23-24. 24-25, 122,231. So negative difference of negative 41,958. So less birds, 41,000 less birds, almost 42,000. Woodies, this number was actually way lower in total harvest than I ever thought it'd be for wood ducks. Total harvest, 85,131 for 23-24. 24-25, 104,561. Negative 19,430. That's a surprisingly low harvest rate for wood ducks. Now here's my question. Do you think that 19,000 difference is people mud stomping them during teal season?
I'm not cool. Comment on that.
We don't really have wood ducks here, so. But I know heading over east, there's a lot more of them. I hear tales.
I've heard tales.
So redheads, 123,250. Next year, 125, 138. Negative 1,188 difference.
Because everybody's trying to shoot those dang ginger birds. That's why.
No, they quit trying to shoot them. That's the problem. Canvasbacks, 23-24 harvest, 29,100. 24-25 harvest, 35,431. Positive 6,231 difference. Your greater scops are going to be 4,484 for 23, 4,676 for 24-25. That one was very close with negative 192 difference. Actually, let me look real quick. No, they weren't. They weren't the lowest, but they were close to being the closest to, straight across the board from year to year. Lesser scops, 52,369 versus 45,320 with a negative 7,049 difference. Ringnecks, a lot higher harvest than I thought there'd be, but I guess y'all got a lot more over there than we do.
Yes, we have a lot of ringnecks.
Yeah, I've never even seen one. They were 131,008 for next year, 106,959 with a negative 24,049 difference. Golden eyes, 11,232 next year, 13,621 with a negative 2,389 difference. Buffleheads. I wish we could have seen the numbers on them because I would be interested in that after this. 23-24 harvest, 15,071 birds. 24-25 harvest, 33,992. Over double, positive, 18,921 difference.
Oh, that's crazy.
That is a huge leap. Huge. Ruddy ducks. Man, I just want to see one of these things. I just want to see a ruddy duck so bad. My favorite bird I've never seen. 23, 9,841. 24, 4,992. Almost half. Negative 4,849. Actually, probably a little over half difference. They only took half as many the next year. So that's what I was talking about. Sea duck hunters did not turn out well for this. Longtails, 0 and 0 reported.
Oh, wow.
Eiders, 0 and 0 reported. Scoters, 412 reported in 23. In 24, 659, with a positive difference of 247 more taken in 24-25 than 23-24. Now, I have never been sea duck hunting, and I'm not going to sit here and talk trash because I've seen and heard how difficult it is to shoot sea ducks. I mean, I can only imagine how difficult that is to be shooting a moving animal from a moving boat while laying out. So I'm not going to talk trash on anyone that does that, but man, 0? Surely someone.
Somebody had to shoot at least one duck. I mean, come on.
Yeah, that was pretty sad that, that's not reported on at all for either one of those. Hooded mergansers, 23 season, 21,988. 24-25 season, 15,207 with a negative 6,781 difference. Other mergansers, 3,281 next year, 3,269. That one was the closest with a negative 12 difference.
Wow.
So that one, people did not get bullied about taking mergansers on social media those years.
Because no one posts shooting merganser very much. I can't say much. I got a hooded merganser on my wall.
Yeah, but hoodies have their own. Other mergansers are just others. Hoodies have their own category. And they leaps and bounds. 21,988 in 23 versus other mergs, that whole category of other mergansers, 3,281. So leaps and bounds, buddy.
Yeah.
And then we round this out on ducks of category other ducks, all other ducks, 5,767 for 23, for 24-25, 9,378, positive 3,611. And I just want to go on record as saying other ducks, since coots are not in here, I'm going to assume out of that 9,378 that 9,300 of them were coots.
I was about to say, I bet you those are 99% coots.
I was very disappointed to not see coots on here. And then I was like, they just put it under other ducks. So
Those poor
here's
things.
your big drum roll. Total harvest for the 2 seasons. 2023, 3,831,000 even. And now that's with a plus or minus 6% margin from what they
Mhm.
believe. 24,25,000 or 2025 season. 3,175,200 birds with a plus or minus 8% margin, with a net difference of negative 655,800 birds. That is over
Mm,
500,000 birds less taken from 23 to 24 to 24, 25. Total hunting numbers. This is what they believe active. Now, they were specific in this. This is not going off sales of duck stamps. This is active hunters. 23-24 season, 291,000 even. 24-25 season, 268,500 with a negative difference of negative 22,500. That's a lot less hunters. And keep in mind, this is ducks only. I'm fixing to break
yeah,
down geese. That is a lot.
that's crazy.
So, I mean, let's jump back to the very first one. I want you to keep in mind the difference of total ducks harvested from 23 to 24 and the total hunters. For total ducks, the difference was 655,800 less from 23 to 24. Hunters was 22,000 less, 22,500 less from 23 to 24. We took over 500,000 less ducks and we had 22,500 less hunters. But our mallard difference, we took 55,123 more.
That's where I get to the point of maybe we need to back off on the mallards a little bit.
Yeah, that's why I didn't want to fault you too much on that when you said that earlier, because I had this number in mind. It was pretty crazy. So,
And I mean, I'm not against people will say, "Oh, he don't like shooting mallards." I'll shoot a greenhead just like anybody else, but also I want my grandkids to shoot greenheads.
yeah. I mean, and like I said, this is not a single solution problem. So,
No, it's not.
we're not biologists. We're not the people that set the rules. So, everyone's entitled to their opinion. So, no one's going to fault you for that. Okay. Goose does not get near as in detail. So, I'll just run through that kind of real quick because they don't get near as detailed on that. It gets
Yeah.
into a lot more of stuff over in Alaska and East Coast and stuff like that, breakdowns, but overall, the breakdown's not the most defined. So can't same scenario, 23 season and 24 season, then I'll give you the difference. Now that previous, all those hunter numbers and harvest numbers, that was duck hunters and duck numbers only. I'll have the totals for waterfowlers in general as well. For Canada geese, 23, 419,127, 24, 564,416, with a positive difference of 145,000 more taken. Cackling geese, 189,811. Next year, 164,117. Negative difference of 25,694. Snow geese. This one interested me with the article that Ducks Unlimited put out on snow numbers and several states getting rid of their conservation season. The number was not near as big as I thought it was going to be. Snow goose for 23 season was 103,856. For the 24 season, it was 120,122 with a positive difference of 16,266. Honestly, thought that was going to be a lot more of a harvest number. Blue fronted, or sorry, not blue fronted, blue goose, 53,722. 24 season, 30,974 with a negative difference of 22,748. White-fronted goose, 35,030. 24 season, 82,065 with a positive 47,035 difference. Brants had nothing reported for either year, and then all of the geese, they had 675 reported for 23 and 0 reported for 24,000 or for 24 season. So total numbers on geese for the 23 season was 859,000 even with a plus or minus 11% margin. For the 24 season, it was 986,600 with a 16% margin, plus or minus. And then the difference was positive 127,600. For goose hunters, active goose hunters for 23 season was 142,100. For the 24 season, 138,100 with a negative 4,000 difference from 24 to 25, or from 23 to 24. And then the number for waterfowlers, this is active waterfowl hunters, not just, from what they said, this is what they believe is the active waterfowl hunter, not just someone who buys the duck stamp. For 23-24 season, waterfowler in general, 313,300. 24 season, 291,500 with a negative difference from 23 to 24 of 21,800. So
we're losing hunters.
Geese are holding.
Yeah.
Duck hunters dropping. So
I mean, it's getting harder and harder to hunt. So
and expensive. And it's harder to get, it's harder to get public land access. It's harder to get private land access. I mean, not talking trash on anyone, but I mean, it's people get out there and make a bad name, ruin it for everyone else. It makes it harder.
It does.
The guides get out there and go pay for someone's private access that they had an agreement with. That's it gives bad names. It gives bad publicity, everything, So
it's just, yeah.
I want to share something with you on here. It's just I thought was interesting little tidbit. So I was talking about how they have this, how they have so much broken down in this. This is the harvest numbers. Look right here at these big dips in every flyway. You see what year that is?
Wow.
90s. Do you know what happened then? Steel shot became required.
Yeah.
Lead shot got banned. I just thought that was interesting.
That is interesting.
But I mean, it's pretty cool looking at this. I mean, I'll tell you what, if y'all get the chance, go to U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. And this thing is in depth on a lot of different things. I mean, you can see the numbers are here.
That's crazy.
It's 77 pages. This right here is your geese harvest numbers. So they held pretty strong. You had some dips, but for the most part, it looks as though a slight shift downwards, but for the most part, it has been on a steady upward swing.
Pacific is up.
Yeah. Pacific
is rising.
I think a lot of that's their resident seasons.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, this breaks it down for every state, all that. I just thought it was really cool.
Wow. That is crazy.
So, it's a lot of information. That's kind of like drinking from a fire hose, I know, but I just want to go over that with you. I thought it was very interesting. Like I said, some of those harvest numbers really make you think about stuff, especially versus the numbers of our breeder population. And then you get our numbers of hunters going way down.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I don't know. Do you think what do you think is the reason that the hunter numbers have dropped significantly?
That's so expensive. I mean,
It is.
we've been planning our trip to Nebraska a year ago. I mean, it's taken us a year to save up to be able to go and
And make it worth
hunt,
it.
make it worth it, make hunt comfortably.
Yeah.
I mean,
We're not going guiding, and we're not even going on a guided hunt or anything like that. We're freelancing
no,
it the whole time. We're going to be winging it the whole time we're up there.
it's just it's expensive. Ammo's up.
Do you think social media has anything to do with it, with all these, you know, the pressure and social media's influence on the pressure?
I think so. I mean, everybody's going for politics.
Well, that
I
too.
mean,
And then, you get all these, you know, these boat launch fights on there. And, that doesn't make me want to go to that area. Yeah. I mean, everyone, oh, yeah, just let's watch this. Yeah, sure. But at the same time, like, that is so disrespectful, so immature.
yeah.
I
I
mean,
mean,
it puts a bad image on all of us.
it does.
So,
I mean, social media does a lot. I mean, there's a lot of influencers out there now that you just gotta.
and most of them, and I don't see a bunch of bad ones.
No,
But
I don't
the
either.
guys that we
But
watch, the guys that we follow and look up to and try to learn from are great guys. So, I mean, I'm
yeah,
not getting the jack wagons and the trophy hunters and
no, and we're
all that stuff in my feeds or anything like that. And I don't have social media. I haven't had social media in almost 6, 7 months, I think, something like that, until we set up everything for this. And I mean,
yeah.
obviously it's skewed because it's what we're using for this, and that's what I'm on, is pushing this platform and trying to build this and get information for this. So I mean, it's all skewed, but still.
Well, and the guys that we follow, we listen to, and all that, they're not out there telling you where birds are, and they're gonna make you work for it as much as they work for it. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, someone can tell you where the birds all are all day long, but that don't mean you're going to get them. You got to put in the
yeah,
work. I mean, we know that. We've been told, "Hey, go here. This is where the birds are." And not us, not anyone trying to be vindictive or us trying to steal someone's spot, but like people trying to help us. And we've gone and
yeah,
had bust hunts. I mean, skunked. But I will say this, the more we've hunted, the better we've got and done it on our own and learned all this on our own and paying attention to other people. We don't have near as many skunk hunts.
no, we don't.
We ain't professionals by any means, but I mean, man, it
We
just,
at least shoot we at least shoot a couple birds every time we go out.
yeah. And it's not even about that. It's, also my satisfaction level with each hunt has gone up. My enjoyment has gone
Yes.
up. So,
I mean, everybody says we don't do it for the birds. We do it for the birds, but it's a different, and you'll see this more this year. It's a different aspect when
bringing the
you
dog
shoot a
into it.
bird and that dog comes into it. I mean, I do it more to watch Wiley work because he loves it more than I say he loves it more than me, and I love it more than a lot of things.
Yeah. Well, that was a lot covered tonight, buddy.
It is.
So I think it's good information, though. Information I was
Yeah.
definitely excited to look at and learn. And,
Yeah.
every year I get a little bit more into this. I learn a little bit more about it. And, these numbers start meaning more and more, you know, and they make sense more and more.
Yeah, they do.
But um, other news, anything else you wanted to cover or talk about before we sign off here?
Man, not really. Make sure you are going on our Instagram, following us. We do have a TikTok page now. So
Yes.
trying to upload some videos. We
Um,
really appreciate it if you get on Spotify and give us a couple stars on there so we can kind of get recognized.
yeah. And on there, Instagram and TikTok are mainly where we're going to be rolling out at. We will eventually roll out some YouTube and stuff like that. Um, that'll probably kind of be put on the back burner till after season when we actually have some content to put out. Facebook is there, but it's I'm kind of working on it. Facebook is very tricky in how they're doing and how they make you do everything with a page and all that stuff on some of this stuff when you're trying to start it. And I'm not the greatest with social media since, I
Yeah.
was off social media before this, but
Instagram is our
Instagram is
biggest.
the best way. If get on there, listen, tell us what you want to hear. Tell us if there's something you don't like what we're doing. You're not going to, you don't have to be nasty about it, but tell us, let us know. We're learning too. We want to know how to make this show enjoyable for not only for us to put together, but for y'all to listen to. We want someone to take something away from this. And if there's any suggestions, give them to us. You
Yeah.
can comment on the episodes, but the best way is either shoot us a DM on Instagram, tell your friends about it, or stuff like that. Let everyone know. Shout us out on there. I'm all for it. If you got something on there that you see that you want to share, I'm not gonna be one of those people thinking you're stealing our content. Share it, get us out
No.
there.
Yeah.
You can send us an email, wingingitwaterfowl@gmail. So send us an email if you got some comments, concerns, questions. Let us know what y'all think. Leave
Yeah.
some 5-star reviews. That way other people can get out there and see it. We do have it up on Spotify, Amazon, and iHeartRadio. I am currently working on Apple. We are having some issues with Apple at the moment. But once we
Hopefully
get
we have
that,
that done by tonight.
yeah, here soon. We should have it figured out, and then once it's on there, it'll be on there. There won't be any more issues. It's just this initial startup issue that Apple's given us. So, but yeah, y'all let us know what you think, and we appreciate you listening. All these guys the couple guys and gals that have listened so far that I've heard from have been nothing but great positive feedback, and we've gotten people have told us, hey, try this, don't do that, and we're
Yeah.
listening. We really are. So.
We do have another special guest coming on within the next 2 episodes, 1 or 2 episodes. So
Yeah, we do have guests in the works. So this one this one coming up here for too long. We've still got to schedule get a scheduling figured out, but um really looking forward to it. Not going to drop that name yet, but we'll have it soon and it'll be announced on Instagram once we kind of get a date and everything figured out. So, but people a lot bigger than us.
yeah, that's for sure.
So, but all right, guys. Well, thanks for listening to another episode of Winging It Waterfowl Podcast. Look forward to the next one. We'll see y'all next time.